What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing a tier list of the best point guards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM lads. So, today we're just looking at primary point guards. So guys like Donovan Mitchell are not going to be on the list. Guys like Mitchell, Wade, Larry Hughes, they're not going to be on the list. Again, just for consistency's sake, because I don't want to have a player... like players being on the exact same tier, like on multiple of these tier lists. So we got, I think, exactly 50. So I've definitely forgot somebody as well. So if we did forget anyone, I do apologize, but we do have exactly 50 right here. Before we get on, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are so close. We're literally less than 100 subscribers away from hitting 280k. So if you guys are new to my team and, well, just new to the channel and enjoy my team, subscribe. So Caruso. I like Caruso. And this isn't one of those situations where I'm like, oh, I like him, I don't love him. I genuinely do love Alex Caruso. I just want to make that as clear as anything that I genuinely think Alex Caruso is brilliant. The only problem with Alex Caruso is that... the only problem with Caruso really is that he's just not good enough at anything except defense. The guy plays really good defense. Don't get me wrong, the guy plays really, really good defense. He doesn't do anything else well enough. He honestly does not do anything else well enough that I'm high on him. So, he's a decent shooter. He's overall decent. He's fine. He's C tier. Iverson, B tier? Caruso versus Iverson is a tough one, because if you're asking me who I would rather use, the answer is possibly Caruso. But like, in general, Iverson's definitely the better card. Iverson is most definitely the better card over Alex Caruso. So, I know, I think this is the right spot to put him. I really do think this is the right spot to put him. So, he's going to go B tier. Baron Davis, A. Baron Davis, I'm definitely putting Baron Davis in A tier. I think that he's a really, really good player. So, I'm putting him in that tier. I think just overall, his defense is very, very good. Like, he is easily one of the best perimeter defenders at the point guard position. His interior is bad. Like, his interior stops him from being like one of the best 2 or 3 overall point guard defenders. But I'm telling you, I think if you're talking about perimeter defenders, he belongs on that list. He's got that interceptor badge. He plays lanes really well. His movement's pretty good. I don't mind base dribble style. I really don't. I know a lot of people hate base dribble style. I really don't mind it at all. So he's going A tier for me. Sura. Sura's better than Baron Davis. I'm not sure if he's quite top 5. Like, we always have to take into account there are only 5 players going into S tier. So with 5 players going to S, we've got to put... I gotta put him in A for now. He might go up, but he's A for now. CP3. And CP3 is in that Iverson tier. CP3 is in that Iverson tier. So, like, for me, Iverson versus Chris Paul, I think CP3 does some things better. He's a better defender. But I like the way Iverson moves with better than CP3. I know, for example, like, Splash absolutely balled with CP3 in a game on stream, calling the best point guard in the game. If you're not going to be good with Iverson, you're not going to be good with CP3. Let me just say that much. Dame. Now, I think Dame's now a tier below. Dame does not play defense. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care what his stats suggest. I don't care what badge you give him. The guy does not play defense. I don't know what it is. Dame Lillard in this game is one of the worst defenders in the entire game. Like, he's not gonna guard anybody. He's gonna be attacked on defense. And offensively, I don't even find him to be much better than, for example, an Iverson or forgot his name, or a CP3. I think offensively he's probably not as good as those guys. Then we get Darius Garland. Now, Garland's better. Garland is just a better version of Damian Lillard. I think just in general, Darius Garland is just better Dame. So, like, his defense is going to be somewhat comparable. His defense is going to be slightly better than Dame, but his offense is way, way better in terms of just his overall movement, his stats and stuff. I think he's really, really nice. I think he's a bit undersized at 6'1" with a 6'1" wingspan. But at the same time, like, while he does feel tiny, He doesn't feel any smaller than someone like a Dame. So yeah, he's going to be here in B tier. And we get Dave Bing. I mean, at this stage, Dave Bing's got to go into worthless, doesn't he? I don't even think he's that terrible. I don't think he's good. I don't think he's that terrible. But he just has to, doesn't he? He just has to go worthless. Like, he's 2 tiers worse than these two guys. He's at least 2 tiers worse than these two guys. The guy's worthless. Then we've got De'Aaron Fox. Now, I don't think De'Aaron's as good as these guys. Like, for a lot of people, De'Aaron's going to be better than CP3. De'Aaron's going to be better than Iverson. De'Aaron's going to be better than Garland. For a lot of people. The problem is that, like, De'Aaron, for a lot of people on the other end, are going to be way better with the smaller point guards. Especially ones that are offensively are as talented as CP3, Allen Iverson, and De'Aaron, and Gary Garland. So I just think, at their best, there are a lot of people that are going to prefer De'Aaron. I think 25 interior kind of moves him down, but I don't think De'Aaron's that much better than Caruso. I really don't. Rose is going to go D tier. I think later on in the year, when we get a Derrick Rose, the card's going to be a beast. I really do stand by that, like, later on in my team, like, we're going to get an incredible Derrick Rose card. But this card is not it. Obviously, the guy came out week 3. Like, the first week was... No, he came out week 1. I think he came out 17th September. Flash 1. Like, he's obviously going to be outdated. Freddie VanVleet. Now, Fred's only going into this lower tier. I don't think Fred's anywhere near as good as Garland or CP3 or Iverson. He's just not as good. He's tiny. His release isn't bad, though, again. I had a lot of fun with him. He was easy to do challengers with, even scoring online. He's just only okay. So I'm going to go A and S for the Paytons. Honestly, both Pink Time and Payton. It's a weird one. I prefer Baron Davis to Pink Time and Payton. I do. I don't know why. I just do. I know most people just really don't. Like, most people would not be on doing the same thing as me with that. Like, most people are nowhere near as high on, most people are nowhere near as high on Baron Davis as they are with Gary Payton. But for me, I just preferred Baron Davis. Because again, I don't really do much half-court dribbling of people. I play the whole basically, again, I play like this game like it's 2K20. I deep hash. I run at weird angles to the basket. Like, I literally play this game like it's 2K20. Hence why I'm not very good at the game this year. And for me, anyway, Baron Davis is a lot better. But I do think they're the same tier. I do think maybe you could argue, like, more likely it is that this Payton gets up to Baron Davis, but I'm going to put them same tier. I think Sarah's better than both. Gilbert, oh, he's a trash can. Lads, Gilbert is an absolute trash can. I don't care what anyone says. Like, I don't care what anyone says. This guy is an absolute trash can. Like, I used him when he first came out. I said he was a trash can. You guys laughed at me. And now you are all saying he's a trash can. I remember my gameplay, I called him the worst Pink Dime. And everyone's like, oh no, he's really good. He greens a lot. I was like, dude, it's base 11. Like, it's terrible. Again, I really don't care. I really don't care what other people are saying about this release. It's absolutely terrible. So, yeah, he's going to worthless here. One of my least favorite players in all of my team. And you guys know how much I hate Gilbert. He's like, base 11 is a release that I hate so much that I now hate Hito Turkoglu. Like, you know it's bad if it makes me hate Hito. Gus, I'm going to put Gus in, like, B. Gus isn't terrible. He moves. Like, he's got, he's a mech card. He's got good speed. Like, 98 speed is the only good thing. I remember, the worst was when I said it, when I was talking about him. When I was looking through his stats, the last stat I called out was 98 speed and then said meh. I was not saying his 98 speed was meh. I was trying to say he's a meh card, but he has 98 speed was a stat on a meh card. He's very meh. He's very meh. If there's any word that I can use to describe him, it's that. He's not good, not bad. He is so average. Meh is the best way to describe him. IT. I'm putting IT in that tier as well. I don't think IT's... I think I might move Gus Williams down a tier. I think we might be... Gus Williams might be one too high. Gus doesn't create like those guys. I'm moving Gus down a tier. Gus is going to C tier. Gus isn't bad though. He's really not bad at all. So yeah, I think he's slept on, but also you can be slept on and not be brilliant. Like, people are talking about him like he's an actual bum, but like he's just okay. Ja, I'm gonna go C tier and S tier with Ja. I think Ja's brilliant. I think this Ja is really, really good, lads. Like, I'm super, super high on Ja Moran's Galaxy Opal card. I think he's one of the best point guards in the game. I think 500k is scandalous. I think his price is absolutely ridiculous. Like, but he's still brilliant. He's still absolutely brilliant. Like there's no question about it. He's better than Baron Davis. There's no question about it. He's better than Gary Payton. He's no question about it. Even though you might say Sir is taller, but in my opinion, there's no question about it. He's better than Bob Sura. But his price is scandalous, though. Then we've got Jason Kidd, D tier, Asen Kidd. Asen Kidd is nowhere near as bad as the worst players on this list. Like, the worthless tier guys, I was about to say, it's like Dave Bing's not even. There's like, Dave Bing is so much better than Gilbert Arenas as well. But Asen Kidd can play defense. Like, again, he's D tier because he only plays D. Then we get Lin. Lin's going S. Lin's going S. Lin's one of the best point guys in the game. Lin is just better guy. Lin is somewhere in between the Paytons. In my opinion, Lin is like, he's not as good as Opal or as Dark Matter Payton, but he's better than Pink Diamond Payton. He's like in between the two Paytons. So wherever that sweet spot is between Pink Diamond, if you guys don't know why I'm comparing them, it's like they've like the same jump shot base. Like their SIGs are unbelievably similar. They're the same jump shot base, the same dribble style, the same behind the back. I think they have the same crossover. Like those two cards are eerily similar when it comes to animations. Which is obviously Peyton's taller. Peyton's going to be taller and Peyton's going to get better defensive animations because he's got better tendencies. But like Lin is really, really good, lads. Like he's 6'3". Lin's, if you give Lin gold range, because of the way how high his jump shot rating is, he already comes with chef, but he was one of the better shooters in the game as well. Like he's a really nice card, and he's someone that for like 15k or whatever the hell he goes for. Like if you want someone like a Ja, like just don't. As much as Ja is better than Jeremy Lin, but you're comparing 15k to 400k. So yeah, there is absolutely no excuse if you're running with Ja Morant instead of Jeremy Lin. Even if you have all the MT, just run with freaking Lin. He's that good. Jerry West. I'm gonna go West in A. Like West was hovering. West really was hovering. Like, he was somewhere between A and B. I think I'm gonna stick with A in the end, but it's not like it's a confident A, but it's not like it's a resounding A. Like if you want to argue that Jerry West should be B, that's perfectly fine. But then we got Stockton. I don't even mind Stockton, but he is D. Like I know Ty like hated this card. I actually didn't mind him. He doesn't move that well, but I like that release. Like I really do like the release his release. So he's gonna go into. He's still going to a low tier though because. I mean, look, he's just objectively not that good, and he's small. So yeah, John Stockton going here into D tier. John Wall. John Wall is going to probably go A tier. I think in overall cards, did I put John Wall in B tier? I think he's not in the top 5 point guards in the game, but I think he's comparable to Baron Davis. Like for me, John Wall's just like slightly worse Baron Davis. So again, I think A tier is completely fair for him. And then again, I think most people would have John Wall over Sura. So yeah, I don't know what I'm arguing. Like this is one of the more obvious choices, John Wall in A tier. Calderon, I hate Calderon. Doesn't even come quick for a step. He's a mediocre jump shooter. Like he's not even a better shooter than Jeremy Lin, and he got the same release. He doesn't move like a Jeremy Lin, and his can't dunk or doesn't play defense. Like he's definitely not worthless. Like Dave Bing should be probably getting out of worthless here. I don't like Dave. I do like Dave Bing. I don't think he's that bad. So yeah, Dave Bing's coming in here in into D tier. Gilbert Arenas deserves his own tier. He's the worst by a mile on so far on the list. Don't think is there anyone else in the Gilbert Arenas tier. There's one more in the Gilbert Arenas tier. There's gonna be one more in the Gilbert Arenas tier that I just despise. But Kemba's almost Gilbert Arenas tier. Kemba just plays no defense. Kemba's like a worse Damian Lillard. Like, he's very much like a worse Damian Lillard. Like, he can still score. If you need to go get a score, Kemba can do it. Kemba can move. But if you're asking me whether or not Kemba Walker belongs any higher on this list in D tier, I don't think so. I think, is Kemba the best player in D tier? Offensively, 1000%. And I think maybe you can make the argument that he's the best player in this tier, but at the same time, I don't know. I think, yeah, it's fine. Consider moving him up. Kevin Johnson, man, I think I might take Gilbert Arenas off this entire list. Because he's not, no, Gilbert Arenas, Rajon Rondo, this Russell Westbrook. This Westbrook's okay. This Westbrook's okay to when I have my cursor now. This Westbrook absolutely stinks. Anyone else in worthless? Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway's so bad. Like, and especially base Tim Hardaway. He's not complete. He's 6 foot tall. He's got a small player build. And, no, Parker's not worthless. He's worthless for an opal, but he's not worthless. And Tim Hardaway's like a way worse version of Patty Mills. Patty Mills is going into D tier. The thing with Patty Mills, though, is that, look, the card is pretty good. His whole thing is just, he's a shooter who doesn't come with range or chef. It's a very confusing one. He might come with chef. He's a shooter who definitely doesn't come with range anyway, which is a little bit annoying. But look, it's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world with him, but I do think D tier is probably the most fair spot for him. I really do. So Kirk Heinrich. Heinrich's good. He's got like shifty dribble style. I think C tier is probably right. I wish I was wrong with saying that. Like, I wish I could say, oh yeah, he's most definitely Kirk Heinrich is definitely a B tier player, but he's just not. I think I moved Dame up before I moved Heinrich up. As much as I like Heinrich, he's not even. I'm going to move Dame up. I'm going to move Dame up one. Yeah, I like that. Kyrie. I'm going to put Kyrie in B tier as well. Kyrie's not bad. Like, as much as I hated Kyrie's diamond, as much as I absolutely despise Kyrie in I've despised Kyrie in other years in 2K, he's actually pretty freaking good. So I'm gonna put Kyrie Irving in here at B tier. I think B tier is the correct position for Mr. Kyrie. He's definitely not A, but he's also better than C. LaMelo S. Okay, I'm happy with my point guys list so far. LaMelo's really good. Again, LaMelo's 6'6", can move. He's also got. He's 6'6", he can move. He's also got a really good release. The problem is that in terms of just creating, he's not going to be the greatest. Like, he can hit off the catch and shoot. He can kind of move left, right. The slasher dribble style is kind of a negative, but I really like that release. I think overall as a card, he belongs in S. There's no brainer, especially with the Hoff Interceptor. Okay, so Lou Will. Lou Will's a surprising inclusion in C tier. Lou Will is actually a surprising inclusion in C. Lou Williams is better than D. I'm kind of shocked that I'm saying that because he's freaking Lou Williams, but he's not good. He's not absolutely horrific. Like, he's 2K. I don't know what else to say. Like, I literally, when I made a video on him, the guy was the single cheapest diamond in the game. He was less. Like, I bought mine for 1.9k. For that price, he's actually solid. And I think he's a similar level to like an Isaiah Thomas. He's very similar level, in fact, to an Isaiah Thomas. So if you're out there if you're arguing Isaiah Thomas he should be in the same tier. Wherever Isaiah Thomas is, that's the tier that he should be in. I stand by whatever tier Isaiah Thomas is the tier where Lou Williams should be. Magic Johnson. Now Magic, if he suits your playstyle, he's S. If he doesn't, he's probably B. No point using him if he doesn't suit your playstyle, honestly, just the way he is. He's tall, but he's slow. And by slow, I mean the guy literally doesn't run properly. I don't know what 2K have done the last 2 years, Magic Johnson. He does not run properly. So, it is a big, big flaw when a player is running up and down the floor and they're jogging. Like, it doesn't matter what their speed is because they're going to jog. And that is the case with Magic Johnson, and it's been the case for the last 2 years. I don't know. Magic Johnson eventually learned how to run last year, but it did take a while. It did take a while before we had a fully, like, a Magic Johnson who knew how to put his left foot in front of his right foot. So I'm hoping that the next Magic Johnson we get can run, but unfortunately the pink diamond can't. Unfortunately, he can't run. But yeah, so he's going to go A tier. If he could run, he'd be no-brainer S. Problem is, again, as we've discovered, he can't. Mark Price, D. Mark Price is not worthless. D tier is the perfect spot for Mark Price because he actually has a good release. It's not the fastest release in the world, but he's never going to miss with base 28. He's got range extender. He's decent for clutch time. He's actually a good defensive badges and stats. Problem is, again, he's 6 foot tall, so that kind of nullifies basically everything he does on defense. He's not going to play any of it. Is he as good as like a Garland? No. I think maybe Mark, like, if I've got Garland in B, I'm putting Mark Price in C. I'm standing by that. If I'm putting Darius Garland in B tier, Mark Price is going into C. Because he's not that horrific. He's really not. Like, he's way better than Stockton. He's way better than Calderon. He's slightly better than Kemba, maybe. I think I might have to move Kemba up a tier as well. I'm moving Kemba up one. Yeah, I think I'm liking my tier list a little better now. Kemba's freaking good, though. Kemba is genuinely good. Offensively, anyway. Obviously, in defense, he doesn't play like a defense, but it is what it is. Conley. Conley's a really solid defender. Conley's going C. He's definitely on the lower end of C. But, like, a lot of people really like Mike Conley, and he's pretty damn good. Like, his movement is nice. His shooting's pretty good. Even though he only has base 22 on normal. It's one of those releases that on small players it feels fine. But it's like the taller player gets, the worse the release ends up being. His just all-around game is pretty damn good. Like, he does a decent job. He's like a poor man's version of that Freddie VanVleet card. Again, it's like Fred's had his time, and this isn't Fred's time, but Fred VanVleet isn't absolutely unusable. Like, C tier is not that terrible. I think that's definitely where Mike Conley belongs. Then we've got Tiny Archibald. I mean, C as well. C as well. He's definitely, again, on that Mike Conley level, the lower end. Like, he's better than D. He's not that much better than D. So I start, yeah, that's a good position for him in C tier. Then we have got Big O. I think this Big O is B. I think both Oscar Robertsons are B tier. 6'5", moves pretty nice. Honestly, he doesn't have the Pro 3 behind the back anymore, but he still moves pretty nice. His jumper's not as bad as I thought it was initially going to be. Like, he's fine. Like, it's just, he was super, like, no one ever used the Amethyst in the Beast set because, well, the dimes are ridiculously cheap. And then no one ever used the Pink Dime because he was a lock-in for a really expensive set. So, people just haven't really experienced this guy. He's pretty good. Like, I think he's not A. But he's not the worst player in B. And like, again, he's 6'5", so if you do want to run top point guards, he's absolutely perfect for you because he's pretty decent height at that point guard position. But again, like, I would still probably go like an OJ Mayo or a Larry Hughes or a Sura over him, but he's still pretty good. So now we got Penny. This is our final S tier player. This is our final S tier player, lads. We've got Penny Hardaway. So Penny's in there. And honestly, I think Penny's good. I think Penny is really, really good. I think he's a tall point guard. He's better than Magic. For me, he's different to LaMelo because he moves a lot better than Melo. But he's also not even on the same stratosphere as Melo defensively. So, yeah, I think the right spot for Penny is S. I think the right spot is definitely S tier for Penny Hardaway. Easily, yeah, he's top 5. He's top 5. Pete Maravich. I'm putting Pete Maravich in C tier. I should like this card. Again, I just want to put it out there. Like, I really should like the card because he is, like, he's a good defender, or say he's a good shooter. He's got a good release. He has shifty dribble style, and he's a mediocre defender. I just don't know why I hate the card. I never have trouble playing against him, and I just hate using him. C. Rubio C. Most people are in C tier, which is fine because it's the middle tier. Rubio's 6'4" with a nice release. Not going to dribble the ball too much, but a really good defender. Like, he's a really, really good defender. So, and again, Hoff Chef as well. Yeah, Rubio C. You know, it's a lot of C tier players, but I mean, you guys, well, they are. It is the middle tier. And, like, if a player C, they're C. We got Westbrook. This Westbrook's not that bad, though. I think B tier might be kind of gas now. He's somewhere between B and C when he's evoed up. Like, he's so much better. He's so much better than the other pink. The other pink Diamond Westbrook absolutely stinks. This pink Diamond Westbrook's not bad. I'm trying to think what's the best spot for him. Like, would I rather use this Westbrook or use Gus? Maybe Gus. Maybe Gus. I don't know. So yeah, it's a tough L spot. It's a tough L spot. Deciding. Some of these tier lists are tough, but it's like, I'll go B. Because he does green a lot. He really does green a lot, so I will put him B. Stephen Curry. I'm putting this Steph in B tier. I'm putting Pink Diamond Steph in B. I think that's where he belongs. He can still, to this day, he can still create. If you need to create with this guy, you can. Maybe one lower. And B and C are really just kind of blending into each other a lot of the time, aren't they? He doesn't play any defense either. I don't know. I mean, if I move Dame up, like if I move Damian Lillard, Pink Diamond up, I probably have to move Steph up. So, yeah, I think that's the right tier for him. This Steph Curry, A. 75th Steph is going A tier. 75th Steph. If he played defense, he'd be good. That's really the problem with Steph Curry, is that Steph Curry will never play defense. And if you're confused and being like, why am I saying Steph will never play defense? I mean, because he literally will never play defense. It's his player build. Like, the reason Steph doesn't play defense isn't because of his stats. Like, you give Steph Curry 99 every single stat and most defensive badges and half, and he's still not going to play defense. His player build is just... His player build is genuinely just awful. It's just absolutely awful for defense. But he is the only player in the game currently with the Curry slide. He does have range extender, albeit only on gold. Or say no, he does have range extender on Hall of Fame. So he's really, really good. Steve Francis. I'm putting Francis in C tier. Like, if you had asked me when Francis came out where I put him, I would have said, yeah, he's going to be one of the best point guards in the game. The problem is Francis was so left-right, mate. Like, the only thing Francis was good at was left-righting. And they patched left-righting. So, like, Francis was good at one thing, and they patched it. And albeit, like, he was outside of D-Rose, he was the best at it, but he actually shot the ball, whereas D-Rose didn't. So, there's a reason we were all so excited for Steve Francis, but I mean, as time went on, the guy just became less and less useful. And he was out of my team so quickly. He really was. So, yeah, C tier is the right spot. Today, C tier is the right spot. Okay, so then we've got Steve Nash. I'm going to put Steve Nash in C tier. Like, some people would say he's kind of very comparable to these B tier players. I don't see it. Like, if you ask me who I'd rather run, Ja or Steve Nash, Ja. Who would I rather run, De'Aaron or Steve Nash? De'Aaron. De'Aaron and Ja are going to move. De'Aaron's going to get moved up. I prefer the other guys. I'm going to move De'Aaron up one. I think Steve Nash is on that Lou Williams tier. I think he's in that Lou Williams tier. So I'll move De'Aaron up one. I think De'Aaron's slightly better than Ja. It's a close one, but I think De'Aaron's slightly better. So yeah, so far we're doing all right. 2 more to go. Tony Parker, D. He's bad. He's really bad for what he is. As a Galaxy Opal, as a draft reward, there's no reason to ever play this game mode. He's bad. But I mean, he is a D tier player. And then we're gonna move into C tier. Trae Young. Trae Young can still cook. Trae Young can genuinely still cook. So if you're just looking to put the ball in the basket with somebody, I mean, you can't really go wrong with Trae Young offensively. You know what you're doing. You know that fadeaway. You're gonna hit a lot of shots with the guy. So yeah, that's the tier list. So this is kind of my worthless tier. D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, and S tier. Let me know which ones you agree with and which ones you guys don't. Obviously, not everyone's going to agree with everything. So I'm perfectly fine with people that don't agree with me. And again, that's what makes these lists fun. If everyone agreed on everything, these lists would not be fun at all. So, anyway, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.